The holiday season is upon us. Thanksgiving is come and gone, and the craziness of Black Friday is over. So instead of listening to the Donzo and Deez show, here's 2 hours of Mariah Carey.
That'll do it.
Coming at you from the Skyhammer Studio here on Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. This is the Donzo and Deez show. I have insanity in my earpiece. I'm Donzo.
I'm Deez.
And what was that about? You were choking down your smoke there, weren't you?
Something. Jesus.
Something in the, you know what, this cold open we just did.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, it was threatened 2 full hours of Mariah Carey. Is it just me, Deez, or has it felt like we've listened to that for 2 full hours?
Yes. It has not been a smooth ride this evening.
No, it has not. And, of course,
that's what happens when we take a week off. We come back and somebody deleted basically our entire library.
Because somebody told me to.
Well, who else has 500 gig hard drives that are maxed out? Not me. That would be you.
200 gig hard drives, credit cards, they're all maxed out. Who the hell gives a damn, right, Deez?
I guess so.
Wendy, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to max your hard drive out.
If you did,
that's kind of kinky sounding. I'm going to max your hard drive out. I've never done that before to a woman, but
if you did miss us, and who would, last week, you can find our live stream that we did on, was it on Thanksgiving? No, it was live on Saturday. Show. It was live on that Saturday. Actually, I believe our rerun was airing while we were live that Saturday morning. We were also joined by Ryan McKenzie. And, find that on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/LDonzoDeez under the live tab, and you can see what we had to talk about last week.
So I want to give a shout out to the sponsor for our show, EnviroSeal. If you have sunken concrete slabs like patios or driveways, they will come in with polyurethane foam and pump up those slabs, and they will have those slabs ready to drive on that same day. Also do commercial and residential spray foam insulation as well. So if you need spray foam insulation or you need slabs jack, start jacking and call EnviroSeal at 309-275-6303. Now,
and if you need valuable files wiped from your hard drive mere minutes away from when you actually need them, call Donzo.
Oh, why don't you just piss off? You know, that was a collective effort, okay? But we managed. We pulled through. Come on, we got it. We got it going on here. So, aside from tonight, I mean, this has become a thing that we do. How was your week, Deez?
Long. It's not over yet. Still on that job in Champaign, and I forgot how much it sucks to work hard. I'm getting too old to be doing what I'm doing. Is what it is. My body's just no longer cooperating anymore. My knees hurt. My back hurts. Probably going to get sick because my girlfriend is currently at home, not my home, her place, with like 14 temperature. It's not really, it's 102, but either way, I was in contact with her, so I'm probably a viral carrier right now. So,
well, when you get home, maybe you should go and give her a penisola injection.
She ain't at my house.
Oh, she's not at your house?
No, she's at her place.
Oh.
She can keep her cooties to herself.
Keep her cooties to herself. Yeah, that's right. Keep your cooties to yourself, ladies. We don't need none of that. We're men around here. We just take care of each other, right, Deez?
Easy.
Oh, there was some silence there. All right, so we were talking. So we're into the Christmas thing.
Yeah.
All right, it's December 2nd, right?
You know what's really good about Christmas season?
What?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. The older I get, the more harsh I am on Christmas. I just get fed up with it. You know what I'm really fed up with? We can't show you. I don't think we can pull it up, but I mean, if you're on YouTube, you can go research it. Do you remember when Melania Trump got raked over the coals for her White House Christmas getup? This is a couple years back. It was
I mean, I maybe vaguely.
She did like Christmas trees in red. It was pretty. It was different. But
I do know that I've seen some stuff on Twitter about it in the last few days. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You know what really drives old Donzo chaps his ass is they raked Melania Trump over the coals for her White House.
Was it her or her stunt double?
It was her. Oh, come on. Give me a break. Ah, come on, man. Give me a break. One break coming up.
I'm telling you, that's not her every time you saw her. Anyway.
Still looks good.
Yeah.
Butt looks like hers.
Oh, yeah.
She got a nice booty on her. Anyway, so we heard all about this, and the left lost her mind and thought it was tacky. And I didn't think it was bad, to be honest with you. But on Monday, Dr. Jill unveiled their White House decorations that she headed up. Look at this sticks. This literally, look at the plastic reindeer. It looks like something out of a trailer park. No, it does. Look at this. The little ice houses and everything and candy canes. And it's just it's the tackiest damn thing. It's like if our grandmas got together and dropped acid and and we gave him like $10,000 to decorate the yard on acid. This is what they would do. Look at these reindeer. Look at this. You know what? If you're the president of the free world, don't you think you can like actually kill real reindeer and mount them and stuff them?
Well, yeah, you would think.
Oh, these people. But it's Joe Biden, and we're going to get into that as well on this Saturday show, because Joe Biden's in a lot of trouble. Like he almost can't open his insurer. Now something else. National Christmas tree, okay, topples at the White House. It's like God bringing down his fist and saying, "You heathens are unclean. You are unfit to run the country." I don't know. I thought those guys. Did you hear about the Christmas tree in Times Square in New York with all the pro-Hamas lunatics?
Yeah, I saw the article.
What the hell's going on here? You know, a lot of people just want to take their family to see the tree in Times Square and look at the sticks. What do you think about that, Deez?
Those people are insane.
I mean, I know you're an atheist, but you still celebrate Christmas. I mean, you know, if your girlfriend wanted to go see a Christmas tree and you're like, somebody just put me out of my misery.
I'm not going. I'll just
okay,
but
come on,
now.
Come on. But what if somebody wants to take their family to see a Christmas tree?
Yeah, no,
and
I
got these losers doing this.
Yeah.
Which we got a little bit of Israel and Hamas and Iran. Iran is going to war with Israel. So is Lebanon. That Styx is heating up pretty bad. We've got some other stuff too. Let me see if I got some time to go into this, because this is very, very interesting. There's a BLM leader, okay, who's Mark Fisher, the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Rhode Island, is throwing his weight behind none other than Donald Trump. He claims it's the duplicity of the Democrats, the hypocrisy. He says, we're not stupid. The brothers are not stupid. We understand when someone's for us and when someone is not. And it's obvious that the Democratic Party is not for us. He went on, the policies actually strike at the heart of the black family and the nuclear family. He says, we've been used and abused for so long by that party, they don't value our vote. Fisher went on, their policies are basically racist policies. I believe it's a racist party. Donald Trump is just the opposite. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to give it to you straight. Now, Mark Fisher, once again, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Rhode Island. Do you see the wheels starting to fall off this, Deez?
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
I'm more like shocked that there's a BLM chapter in Rhode Island. I didn't know Rhode Island had.
Well, they look kind of pale, but no, I mean, seriously.
Yeah, that's.
This is, and I made a post about this, and we're going to get into this later. We've also got some news about Chris Cuomo, Fredo Cuomo, who's, I wouldn't come out and say he's switching sides right now, but there's some pretty interesting stuff that he just said on one of these interviews. But there's a lot of interesting things going on.
He's probably trying to divert attention from his brother, who's in a little hot water right now.
Well, you know what? If he's willing to sell his soul like this, I'm willing to listen to it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Did you even see the story? Well, you're gonna see it. You're going to see it.
About Chris Cuomo?
About Chris Cuomo, yeah.
No, I did not.
Okay, well, you're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked. Damn it, I tell you, man, you will be shocked.
I have, honestly, as far as like the week that was in the news, I got nothing. I get home, I'll
Why
take
is this
a nap.
week different than any other?
Well, I mean, I at least try sometimes. This past week, I just haven't. I've been so damn tired. I get home, I eat, I take a nap, then I watch a little TV, and then I go to bed because I get up at like 4 when my cats aren't buttholes and wake me up at.
Speaking of
3.
speaking of cats, speaking of animals, did you read the book Animal Farm when you were in high school?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't do any of the assigned reading.
It didn't have pictures, so I'm not surprised. Anyway, there's something I want to tie in with the book Animal Farm. And I read that back in high school. And of course, if you ever read it, you can't forget it. But I recently went back and read it. And there's a lot of similarities I want to tie in to what's going on now, not just with communism, which that book was about, but with the Democratic Party as a whole. And we're going to get into that on the next segment. There's some interesting things here. There's some interesting facets of that story by George Orwell. Of course, 1984. You're familiar with that one. Very good, right? We all read that in high school.
We're living it right now.
We're living it right now. But Animal Farm is another one. Animal Farm is very interesting. So we're going to spend some time on that in the next segment. We've got Trump in the news. We're going to go over the polls, how bad Biden's screwed. We've got off-the-wall news. We've got all kinds of zany things for you.
You know what's happening tonight?
What's that?
The big debate between DeSantis and Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, the big nothing burger.
This is Thursday, and I can see into the future. The loser of that debate is going to be anybody who watches it.
Well, when we come back here on the old Donzo and Karnak show, we're going to cover that on Cities 92.9, News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. And in news this week, former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger has passed away.
Really?
Yes, sir. He was 100 years old.
How did he die?
His parachute didn't open. I mean, it's news when somebody that stature dies. Did you know he was known as like one of the greatest swingers in D.C.?
No. I
was literally just reading this today. I guess he had like a lot of celebrity girlfriends and whatnot. I guess he got around. If you ever looked at him, he didn't.
Full disclosure, I thought he died a long time ago.
No, he's been hanging out. He was having some Ensure and applesauce with Jimmy and Rosalind Carter last week. So he was. Oh, Rosalind Carter died too.
Yes, she did.
Did we talk about that?
Did we?
No, I don't think we did.
No, it hadn't happened yet.
No, it hadn't happened. She was 96 years old, and poor Jimmy Carter, I think he's 99.
Did you see? I did see them a clip on Twitter of them basically wheeling him in to her service. Whew.
Yeah, he's dicked up like gay porn. I mean, he's not far away.
Yeah.
I mean, God, you know what? Here's my thing about Jimmy Carter. He wasn't a great president, but he's a great human being. He really is a nice guy. Doesn't qualify to be president.
Within a month is my prediction. He's got less than a month,
and you could tell by looking.
Yeah,
at the pictures of him.
Like honestly, it looked like they were rolling in a corpse.
Well, and usually somebody that's been or two people that have been in a relationship that long and are that age. Usually, when one goes, it's not long after the other one says, "Hell with it, Elizabeth, I'm coming, sweetheart." And that's the
you kind of lose the will, and that as crazy as it sounds, that's a real thing.
Henry Kissinger dying isn't a surprise, right?
Oh,
you thought he had passed away.
The only surprise is that he was still alive. I thought he was already dead.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that a 100-year-old died.
No, you're not. And you're not surprised that Rosalind Carter passed away either. I mean, that's old age. People get to that point and they expire and they go on to the next journey. One thing you may be surprised to hear, and I was very surprised to hear this, Deez. Talked in the last segment about Andrew Cuomo. Fredo. He was on with Patrick Bet-David in an interview, okay? And they were talking about his belief that the United States could survive another Trump administration. And I was absolutely astonished at what Fredo said. And seriously, and I had a lot of I wouldn't say emotions, but I had a lot of, what the hell is he getting at? Is this a trick? But I want you to listen to this. This is Andrew Cuomo saying this, okay? Andrew friggin' Cuomo. All right, here we go. Roll clip. This is a long one, but you got to hear it. Andrew Cuomo with that's what she said. Here it is. Roll clip.
If it's Biden, Trump, look, for me, again, we survived a Trump administration. Would we survive another one? Yes. Yes. I don't think there's any greater risk to America with him than with Biden. And for people who are now going to attack me and say, what are you talking about? Trump is like this crazy man. Well, look, as Patrick says, the data is the data. Nobody was trying to kill us when Trump was president in a way that they're not now. If anything, there's more hostility. And you can have reasons for that any way you want. I'm just saying, existentially, I'm not afraid of a Trump presidency. Existentially, I'm not afraid of another Biden presidency because, unlike many people in America, I believe that the country is much stronger than any individual leader. We survived the Russia thing. We survived January 6th. We survived having Biden as a gaffe machine. We survived Congress going after each other and doing nothing for the rest of us. We survived these things. Are we better for it? No. Should we be doing things differently? Yes. I think it happens. I don't know when. I don't even know why. But, in terms of who I'm going to vote for, I would really have to see where we are at that moment in time. And
so you're open to a Trump vote?
I am always open. And I'll tell you this. People say, oh, you've never voted for a Republican in your life. Wrong. And not only have I, the first vote I ever cast was for a Republican.
Okay, so he was pretty stern on he may vote for Trump. He didn't come out and say, I'm supporting Trump MAGA 2024. But that's Chris Cuomo. That's pretty telling that he would come out and say that.
Well, it's
he's being that
a lot
bold
like what
about it.
Michael Rappaport said a few weeks ago. Basically same thing, that it's not, it's at the very least it's on the table.
Well, let me tell you something, folks. Everybody is all Black Lives Matter and Trans Lives Matter and Save the Planet and all this other bullsticks until they see the person they voted for is starting to actually hurt them, is starting to actually make their lives worse than it was before. And they start, I don't care about this social justice warrior crap. That's where these people are at. They're seeing it now. When's the last time you went to a fast food place and got something to eat, Deez?
Probably a few weeks ago.
Yeah. What did you notice anything about how much it costs to get your sandwich and your fries?
Oh yeah, that's through the roof.
Through the roof.
You used to be able to, like a single meal, I could get at just about any of the fast food joints, and I'm a big eater, but I could still get out of there $12, $13. Like that's 2 sandwiches of fries.
You cannot obtain a modest lunch for $10 anymore.
No.
A modest lunch.
No.
I'm not talking about going hog wild. I'm talking a modest lunch. These people, the American people, do not give a damn about the stuff that the Democrats are pushing. And this leads me into my Animal Farm reference. Okay, if you ever read Animal Farm, Deez, you said you haven't. I'm going to give you a synopsis of this. It's a farm in England. They got horses. They got sheep. They got mules. They have hogs. They have pigs.
We know what's on a farm. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. Well, I don't know with you. Anyway, these animals the farm's run by Farmer Jones, and he's a drunk. I mean, he takes care of his animals, but he's a drunk, and he maybe mismanages it. These animals decide one day that they're going to rise up, and they're going to take over that farm on their own. Now, this sounds kind of hokey, but when you read the book, it makes perfect sense. So the animals rise up, and they chase Farmer Jones off. They chase his wife off. They take over the farm. And they make these commandments led by their leader, Old Major. And it's all about the animals. Every animal is equal. It's all about the animals. They have these songs they sing.
So these animals can talk.
They learn how to talk.
Okay. Who's Old Major? What is, I should say.
Old Major is the main pig, the oldest one.
Oh.
No, you laugh, but why don't you just shut up and let me tell the story?
Oh, go ahead.
So anyway, these animals educate themselves. They become independent. They start running the farm. They swear that they're not going to interact with humans. They're at war with humans. But as the years go by, they realize that after Old Major dies, that these other pigs, like Napoleon is the name of one pig, figures out that he can game the system, and he can get these other animals to follow him and do his bidding. And why they believe it's all for the greater good and it's all about the animals, Napoleon is going out and making deals with the humans. Napoleon starts making money. They have rules. You cannot drink. You cannot sleep in a bed. We're animals. We sleep in the stalls. The pigs go and live in the house. They live, forget the phrase, high on the hog. They drink. They don't do any work. They have all the other animals do the work. They gaslight the other animals. They tell the other animals that they're doing all this stuff for them and it's all for the greater good. Meanwhile, they're getting bankrolled and they're using the other animals on the farm as slaves. And the other animals, they say, damn, maybe we had it better, under Farmer Jones. And then somebody comes in and intervenes and goes, well, no, of course you did. You're free now. You're free now. This is what we all wanted. It's a warning to communism is what it is.
This sounds just weirdly familiar.
Yeah, you probably read it. You're just not.
No, I mean, this is
right.
Basically, what's happening.
This is the Democratic Party. How often have you seen the Democratic Party, i.e., communism, Marxism, come in and say, "Hey, look, we're for you guys." Just like the unions do the same thing. We're for you guys. We're going to help you out. We're all on the same level. And you get your little minions, you get your little slaves out there to go do your bidding and make your money for you, and you keep gaslighting them. That's what the Democratic Party has done. We talked about that, the Rhode Island founder for Black Lives Matter, switching over to Trump. People like this are starting to see what's going on. That the people that they thought and they listened to that were going to take care of them are not taking care of them. They're using them to bilk money out of them. They're using them as a financial resource. Now, are they necessarily getting money directly from them? No, but they're getting their votes, okay? They're getting all this support to get into office and get powerful, and they don't give a damn about any of them. So go back. If you can go to a library, get the book Animal Farm, and it goes a lot more in depth than just what I talked about. There's a lot of things that go with the Trotskyism and the Marxism.
Orwell wrote this?
Orwell, yeah, George Orwell. It sounds hokey. I know you're making fun of it, but I'm telling you.
No, I mean, I know. It
puts it in a perspective that everybody can understand.
Why hasn't Disney made this one into a movie?
And because you know what? I don't think it has enough gayness in it. Actually, it has none.
Oh, don't worry. They'll make it. They'll put the Disney spin.
They'll do Animal Farm, but they'll do it with reptiles or something. Yeah, like Little Mermaid.
Uh-huh.
I hope that doesn't happen. But anyway, Animal Farm. Go read it. You'll know exactly what we're talking about. This is the Donzo and Deez show on Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. And it's tough trying to sift through everything and see what's going to be interesting, see what's actually applicable. There's a lot of news stories like this parish in Louisiana had an election for sheriff, and the Republican lost by 1 vote, and he demanded a recount, as normally anybody would. But in Louisiana, you can only recount the absentee ballots, and they proved there was dead people voting. So the Democrat ended up winning it. It's just, I want to talk about that. I'd love to get into a tangent about it, but it's kind of hard to because so much research has to go into that to actually decipher everything. But we know there's vote fraud. We know that stuff's going on. But, one thing, though, there's always something in every segment that I want to get to, one news story that just really floors me. And I decided for this particular segment, this is going to be it. Joe Scarborough, of course, he's the host of Morning Joe, and his twit wife, Mika Brzezinski, who used to be Joe Scarborough used to be a Republican. I think he was a congressman. But something in the dark side got a hold of him. But it's not just something in the dark side got a hold of him and flipped him into a liberal. Something flipped him into a jackass that comes up with the most asinine things. And This was just a couple days ago. This is Joe Scarborough, folks, talking about Joe Biden and World War III. Now, for the life of me, if you want to stroke Joe Biden, if you want to go on and talk about how good Joe Biden is, I'm sure you can find some things to twist and manipulate. Okay, would you agree with that, Deez? Anybody can under that circumstance. I mean, if no matter how bad that person is, if you support them, you can go, well, you know, he came down the stairs okay today. He navigated those stairs pretty good. Well, you know, Joe Biden, he didn't get the whole sentence strung together, but damn it, he got 3 or 4 words, and they were almost, well, they weren't perfect, but they were pretty good. You know what I mean? You could do something like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to play you what this moron Joe Scarborough said. And I want you to listen to this. And folks, I want you to listen to it because this blew my mind. I read the headline. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way anybody could be this stupid that they're going to go here. But he did. And when I listened to it, I felt dumber. I literally felt dumber. I mean, I'm a pretty stupid person as it is. But I felt borderline mentally retarded after I heard this. So, I don't even know if I want to hear it again. Should I play it? Because, Deez, you literally, dude, you're going to bang your head against the desk. You're going to be like, shut it off.
Okay,
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Now I have to hear it.
Now you have to hear it. Now I want you to listen to this. All right. Roll clip. Here we go, folks.
Oh, but Claire, I'm so glad you talked about marketing because the crisis we're going through right now where the world could really spiral into World War III, but it's not because a guy who's actually had 50 years of experience. It shows the contrast between a guy obsessed with marketing his brand, a guy obsessed with gestures, a guy who governed by gesture versus, well, Joe Biden, who has 50 years of experience. And when a deal goes sideways on the hostages, he can pick up the phone, he can call, he can get it done. When he meets with President Xi in a critical meeting, he can actually, they have experience. You know, they've got over a decade of experience working with each other when both of them were number 2 in their countries. Experience matters. And the contrast, and it makes me so angry when people are talking about, oh, Joe Biden, he's out of it. He's this. No, he's not. On Joe Biden's worst day, he's light years ahead of Donald Trump on policy, on politics, on diplomacy.
So that was Joe Scarborough pretty much saying, thank God we have Joe Biden or we'd be in World War III for his diplomacy, his politics, his 50 years experience, and him and Xi Jinping. Well, when they were both number 2 in their countries, they got together and they took care of business. And he could pick up the phone and he could call Hamas. Are you sticksing me? On his, Joe Scarborough just said, thank God we have Joe Biden to not get us into any turmoil in the world. The only reason we're in turmoil in the world right now is because of Joe Biden. You heard Andrew Cuomo say it on the last segment. None of this stuff happened while Donald Trump was in office. Nobody was trying to kill us. Nobody was trying to go to war with us. Nobody screwed with Ukraine. Nobody screwed with Israel. He went over there and met with Kim Jong-un. Are you kidding me? And Joe Scarborough comes out and says this? What's this guy thinking?
I don't know what he's been watching.
On Joe Biden's worst day, he could best President Trump on his bets. Are you kidding me? The guy's got to be, somebody's got to be paying him because nobody's that stupid. I thought Joe Scarborough was stupid. Oh, I know Joe Scarborough's stupid. Okay, we're stupid, but we don't say stupid stuff like that. How could he, do you think that he's really, I'm speechless right now.
I don't know. That gotta be a directive there from somebody for him to go off on that kind of tangent and be that adamant about it. Like I said, we know the media is controlled.
He doesn't believe that, Deez. I'm going to tell you right now. All right, I know I made a big deal of this, but here's the honest truth. Joe Scarborough doesn't believe that. Joe Scarborough's in panic mode with the rest of the liberals, the lower tier liberals, not the upper tier liberals, the lower tier liberals. He's in panic mode with them right now. He is gaslighting at this point. Those were lies. Joe Scarborough isn't that stupid. Joe Scarborough knows they're screwed. All right? He's trying to make a case for the liberals, the small amount of liberals that still watch that garbage, that trash show with him and his stupid old lady, Mickey Brzezinski. The small amount of liberals that watch that show, he's trying to reassure them. That's all that was. He knows he's full of crap.
Right.
Okay? That's like saying, if somebody comes up to me and says, El Donzo, your friend Deez, he's an a-hole. I know you're an a-hole, but I'm like, no, he's a nice guy. No, he's a good guy. Yeah, he's a nice guy. But you know what I'm saying, though? That's what he's doing. He's trying to rally the base. He knows he's lying. They're always lying. Tucker Carlson came out last week with something. I can't remember where he was speaking at for the life of me. But he said it best. If you think you're being lied to, you're being lied to. That's all these people do is lie to you. And that was nothing but a lie. Now, I don't know if this was on purpose or not. Let me see how much time we got here. Time flies on the old Donzo show. We got a little bit of time. This isn't a soundbite, but I'm going to read this out for you. So excuse me. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona, okay, was at a meeting in Jackson Hole, Wyoming on Monday. And he told the people, and he's a senior Biden administration official, and he was decided he was going to quote Ronald Reagan. And this is what he said. As I think it was President Reagan said, we're from the government, we're here to help. Now, Deez, do you know the origination where that came from?
Where what came from?
He said, to quote Ronald Reagan, we're from the government, we're here to help. That's what he said. This is a senior Biden administration official.
No.
Okay. So he tried quoting President Ronald Reagan. And Ronald Reagan's original words, when he was talking about government overreach, his original quote was, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. So this guy gets up there and quotes Reagan, and this is what I talk about when I talk about Animal Farm. When you're misquoting things, when you're changing history, when you're molding it, why the hell, how does this guy, he's a senior administration official in the Biden White House. How do you not know what the hell Ronald Reagan said, whether you agree with it or not? I literally had that magnet on my refrigerator. I had a bumper sticker that said that the 9 most terrifying words in the English language. It was because Reagan got it with big government. As I think it was President Reagan said, we're from the government, we're here to help. What are you? Pinch me, I got to be dreaming.
Right.
I mean, just talk about hand your ass over on a silver platter. Sometimes I think they're messing with us. Sometimes I think, all right, smile. You're on candid camera, because nobody can be this stupid. Speaking of stupid, this is the old Donzo and Deez show on Cities 92.9. So I want to say this real quick. So we were talking about Chris Cuomo. We touched Fredo. We touched on that and how he was kind of half-assed throwing some support for Trump. I wouldn't say support for Trump, but kind of justifying, if he ever actually voted for Trump and said it wasn't off the table.
He's not really giving Biden a glowing...
He's not. And so you got two sides of the faction here. You got some of these Democrats that are starting to get away from Biden. And you got a lot of these Democrats who are supporting him, whether I don't think Biden has much of a chance. Okay? But I will tell you this. And accuse me of putting on the tinfoil hat. Okay, you can say this is pretty far out there. But I mean it. I want you to give some thought into this, and I'll preface it with this. Ancient civilizations, or even if you go back a couple hundred years, when people would mysteriously die or bad things would happen, would they call in a forensic crime scene investigator or anything? They didn't have that, did they?
Yeah, that
No.
wasn't a thing.
No, it wasn't a thing. What'd they do? Let's say when bad things happen, they either blamed it on the wrath of God, right? If you go back to biblical times, God was pissed off, God did this. Or sometimes they'd blame it on the devil, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Okay. But sometimes, if you get into the 15th or the 16th, 17th centuries, it became witches. Bad things happened in the village. It was a witch. We have to burn the witch. Sometimes it was vampires.
The hell are you getting at?
Why don't you just shut your mouth and listen to me? Maybe it was vampires, right? People would die mysteriously. It was vampires or whatever, or Squatch, or all kinds of weirdness. They had to find somebody to blame. Without that somebody to blame, they couldn't wrap their minds around it. Now, what do you think the possibilities are, Deez, that we're seeing the same thing happen right now with a lot of these leftists? Did it ever occur to you that maybe they actually want Donald Trump back in office so they have somebody to blame for everything that goes wrong? No, seriously, think about this. What if they actually think, we'll keep the House, we'll keep the Senate, we'll have Donald Trump in there? I think there's a faction of these sick SOBs that actually want him in the White House. No matter how bad they hate him, they have to have somebody to blame every bad thing on. That's what they did before, wasn't it? Wasn't that great? CNN got all these ratings, didn't they?
I don't believe that for a second. However, that I do believe that they will use that as their consolation prize. I don't think any of them, of the never Trumpers or whatever, in their heart of hearts, want him in just for the sole reason of now we can blame him. I think they will blame him and be like, well, we didn't vote for him.
And I'll tell you why I believe that. Because at this point, I believe none of them give a damn about their country.
Well, I believe that too.
I believe there's ones out there that, let's put it this way. I think I got a way I can do this.
I doubt it.
I doubt it. Ooh, you little faith. All right, let's put it this way. Let's say you're a latent homosexual, okay? And you don't want to be homosexual, but you keep putting yourselves in positions to where some homosexual stuff might go down, you know? You don't want it because you feel bad about it, but you kind of want it at the same time because it's in you, because it makes you release something. All I'm saying is,
walking a fine line there, Donzo.
You cannot put it out of the realm of possibility that some of these sicko leftists want to get Donald Trump in there just to have a scapegoat. Because I'm telling you, they don't have a scapegoat right now. None of them can. Well, no, think about that. The Democrat establishment cannot find anybody to
Trump. He's not even in office.
Yeah, but it's not as good as if he was in office.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, you can't say it's an impossibility. There's some out there that don't want this. You can't say that's or that do want this. You can't say that's an impossibility. These people have been chasing their tails, okay, since Joe Biden got in office. The ratings have gone down on these liberal mainstream media news outlets. They have gone down. They savored it. You saw what happened in the January 6th show trials.
Yeah, but
they loved it. They lapped it up. Oh, God, they were so happy with this.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but...
and I'm not saying it's fact.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not saying it's fact. I'm just saying it's pops into my mind. Why are they parading Joe Biden around? You see these poll numbers. It's not just the poll numbers. And I agree with you on most of the accounts. Look, you can't trust poll numbers this early on. Obviously, you can't. But look, when you take all these other things like Fredo Cuomo, like the leader of the Black Lives Matter movement, like the black support for Trump, the Latino support for Trump, the youth support for Trump, and how low Biden's approval numbers are, don't you think that if we were part of that group and we supported somebody and they were that bad, don't you think we'd go in there and kick down the door and be like, you're out, you're done, go, we got to get somebody else in?
Well, that could be starting to happen, and it could be starting tonight being Thursday as we're pre-recording this, because I think that there are going to be a lot of higher ups in the Democratic Party They're going to be watching Mr. Newsom very, very closely this evening to see how he does.
Yeah, but what can they do about it?
Oh, come on.
No. What can they do about it? What happens? They have to get Joe Biden out of there first. They can't just replace him. And if they do replace him, if they 25th Amendment him, then what happens?
I'm not saying necessarily replace him or 25th him. I'm saying that they can. Joe Biden is not the president, all right? They call him the president. Joe Biden does not run this country. I think everybody that's got even 7 brain cells knows this.
I get it. So how are they going to get Newsom in there?
Well, Joe Biden's health is declining. He's not going to run.
Okay, well, if he doesn't run, he has to step down, right?
Not as president. He can just not seek a new term. Ta-da! Here's Gavin.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
We'll be right back with more of these Fooly Monkey Shines right here on Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal. Here's Gavin.